Good afternoon. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 3rd, 2014. It's currently 12:42 p.m. We have a very interesting and dynamic winter storm going on right now, and this winter storm is going to have a major influence on the other two storms that are on the way for this upcoming week. Currently, we have temperatures ranging from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the New York City metropolitan area and lower to mid 30s over the Philadelphia metropolitan area. That rain snow line is slowly dropping south through southern New Jersey, and finally, everyone will change over to snow this afternoon. Yes, even you in Atlantic City and Cape May, picking up anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow in around Atlantic City on south, with the final band of snowfall moving through later on this afternoon. Here is the latest radar, and you can see what I want to point out is this band right here. This band right here is starting to intensify and is capable of producing at least 1 inch of snow per hour. And it's in some places producing as much as 3 inches of snow per hour. So it's a very intense, very impressive band. So the idea here is that this rain snow line will continue to drop south. In fact, let's animate that for a second. Let's go right here. And we can see the progression of this storm, how it's evolving here. See, all the heaviest snowfall has been focused from Long Island on southeast through central New Jersey and just north and west of Philadelphia and over Philadelphia itself, with snowfall amounts well above what I was expecting yesterday afternoon. I had to update the forecast early this morning to include 6 to 12 inches basically throughout this entire region here from southern Connecticut through much of Long Island, the New York City Metro, central New Jersey, and the Philadelphia Metro in southeastern Pennsylvania. This has been a very impressive storm, and it's a huge warning sign moving forward with the next storms on the way. But again, you can see that final band here solidifying and developing, and this band is going to be the last one that's going to move through between 2 and 5 p.m. over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan areas, producing at least 1 inch of snow per hour. And that's how you're going to pick up your moderate snowfall amounts over portions of southern New Jersey. On the latest infrared satellite picture, you can see very intense lifting here with this storm. It's surprisingly intense. You have your high pressure to the north funneling in the cold air. Here's your low pressure systems. Again, these low pressure systems aren't strong, just that the gradient, the temperature gradient between the very warm air to the south and the polar air to the north was just strong enough to really produce a very impressive area of lifting. Now, in the water vapor satellite picture, we're already seeing our next disturbance right here. This is going to be our next storm that's going to impact the region late tomorrow night through Wednesday morning, with the threat for snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Now, this setup here for this coming Wednesday is very, very treacherous here, because we're dealing with a far colder boundary layer than what the model guidance has been suggesting. For example, the fact that we have about, 8 inches of snow on the ground, far more than what any model guidance has suggested. So when you consider that factor, you have to be really careful on just how fast those temperatures are going to warm up at the surface. The mid-levels of the atmosphere will warm up without any issue. And so as a result, when we take a look at this model guidance, we're going to use the GFS model guidance for today. And again, you could use the European, you could use the Canadian. They all pretty much are saying the same type of idea here. For later on this evening, this storm will clear out. So expect moderate to heavy snow until about 5 p.m. and then everything shuts off. Very heavy snowfall will move through the region. In the meantime, anyone whose rain will change over to snow. In fact, so I'm looking at some of the observations coming in. It looks like that transition is well on its way over much of southern New Jersey this hour. So that snowfall will start to take hold throughout the entire Garden State to basically include everyone else in the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. By this evening, the storm clears out, which is great news, because then the evening rush hour likely won't be as bad as what we're seeing right now. So With that storm clearing out, we'll have temperatures falling off very nicely into the upper teens to lower 20s for lows. Then, by the time we get to tomorrow, high pressure will be in control right here. Notice this feature right here, cold air damming right down the east coast. Temperatures tomorrow will struggle in the lower to mid 30s. Then on Wednesday evening, we rebound, well, with more moisture. Now here's this storm. This is what has me concerned here. This low pressure system is going to lift up towards the Ohio River Valley and then redevelop along the mid-Atlantic coast. The issue here is that while at the mid-levels, we'll jump to, let's say, Wednesday morning, the mid-levels are going to warm up above freezing. So this is not an all-snow event at all in any way, shape, or form, aside from the northern interior, let's say around northeastern Pennsylvania, the Hudson River Valley, and northern Connecticut, and central Connecticut as well. However, for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan areas, this is a frozen mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Finally changing over to rain at the very end of the storm, but between the snow and the rain, there's going to be quite a bit of ice. And the reason why is because the lower levels of the atmosphere are very cold. So as a result, you're going to end up with a longer period of sleet and freezing rain than what was originally expected. And that's why now all the models are trending colder, because they're starting to pick up on the fact that we have a colder boundary layer overall. So that storm's going to move through on Wednesday morning, clear out by Wednesday afternoon. And the current thinking on this storm right now is that we have a start time between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. on Wednesday, ending between 4 and 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Worst conditions 5 a.m. through 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, in this dark blue section right here, we're looking at 6 to 12 inches of heavy, wet snow. Not going to be pretty in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, that is for sure. But at least you won't be dealing with all that much sleet. Very, very little sleet. There's a little bit of snow-sleet mix, but at least no freezing rain. That is the red area, which I have here in central Connecticut, including New Haven, back through northwestern New Jersey, including Allentown, York, Lancaster, northwest suburbs of Philadelphia, looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow, but a significant amount of ice. Now again, this forecast is highly volatile. Expect changes, but my point here that I want to illustrate is that this cold air is not going to exit very quickly, and with the coastal low taking over a little bit faster, this is going to be a longer period for that cold air to hang on and produce significant sleet and freezing rain. So you can see up to 3/4 of an inch of freezing rain here and sleet in these locations. In the purple area, which is basically southern Connecticut, northern Long Island, the New York City metro, central and southern New Jersey, Philadelphia, looking at 2 to 4 inches of snow, quickly changing over to sleet and freezing rain, up to 35 hundredths of an inch of ice, and then changing over to rain. In the pink section, notice we have less snow, only 1 to 2 inches, rapid change over to sleet and freezing rain, up to about 0.15 inches, and then we change over to rain, and finally, right along the immediate coast of southern Long Island and on the New Jersey coast itself, especially over southern New Jersey where we're not expecting as much snow with this first storm, only a trace to an inch of snow, changing over to a sleet rain mix, and finally rain. It's not going to be that bad along the immediate coast, but once you get about 5 to 10 miles away from the coast, it is going to get very, very treacherous over portions of New Jersey, much of, well, basically all of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and southeastern New York. It is just going to be a mess out here on Wednesday morning with this storm. And the reason why is because now we have a better handle of what type of environment we're dealing with at the surface with significantly more snow to work with. So that storm finally exits, and now we have a sustained snowpack over the region with ice, a cold environment in place. Temperatures on Thursday and Friday are going nowhere. Basically, we're looking at upper teens to lower 20s for lows on Thursday morning. Highs in the mid to upper 20s Friday. Lower to mid teens for lows. Upper 20s to lower 30s for highs. Saturday, we remain dry, but we clearly have a storm starting to brew out here in the plains. High pressures in control, temperatures in the lower to mid 20s for lows, mid to upper 30s for highs. And then Sunday, we have our storm that's going to be driving towards the east coast. Now, the timing of the storm is still very much in the air. Models range anywhere from Sunday morning to Monday morning for the worst impacts on this storm. So there's a lot we need to work out with this storm on the way. But there is clearly the potential for significant snowfall for all of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area and really all of the northern mid-Atlantic. The question really comes down to whether or not we're going to be dealing with mixing along the coast or if it's going to remain all snow. These details we have to wait to work out. But the point here is that moving forward, we are going to be dealing with a very active and stormy period of weather for the northern mid-Atlantic. Going to have to keep on our toes as each storm impacts the region. The good news is that once this storm moves through, we get a little bit of a break. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.